Good evening, everyone. Hey, Eddie. Good to see you in here. Hope everyone has been doing good today. Had a nice day at work today. Got some good stuff done. Got some stuff prepped for applying to some new jobs. And now we're doing some train stuff, so good times. Just opening this up. Got myself some testers, plastic cement, so I can do this kit tonight. But yeah, so tonight we're going to be opening up this central gas and supply kit from Walthers. Taking a look at that. Starting some work on it, so I can put it on my layout as the, oh, I gotta move this over here. There we go. No, I'm looking at you when I read the chat. But I'm going to be working on this. That way I can turn this into star gas on my layout. So, going to be hopefully fun. This is a good... It looks like a good kit. Eddie, I know you've got it on your layout. Hopefully it does the job for me. But yeah, looking forward to getting started on this and getting to work on it. So let's go ahead and open it up here. I've already opened it up. I've taken out a couple pieces just for looking at what's going on and getting a handle on what's the sizing and everything. And there go the windows. Just dumped the windows onto the floor. Where did this go? There they are. Excuse me. There we go. Still, I'm just about over my my cold from Springfield last weekend. I've just kind of got all the congestion that's been in my head for the past week is draining into my throat, so I've still got some phlegm in my throat, but otherwise I'm feeling much better. So I might occasionally cough or clear my throat, but otherwise I'm all good. So let's get this box out of here. Oh, those are... This is... Remember I was saying I was doing some opening up and looking at some stuff. These are part of that. These are the measurements of the distribution house and the pump house that come as part of this kit. I was trying to figure out where roughly things are going to sit on my layout and what I can fit on my layout, and I didn't actually come to any definitive conclusions yet, but I figure why not start building stuff, because I know at the very least the main distribution building is going to be on the layout, so I can at the very least build that. I can build these big tanks, I can build the little tanks. So there's plenty I can build, plenty I can do, even without 100% certainty as to what's going to go where. Box, go away, be gone. Music seems a little low, so I can just turn that up a touch. There we go. Give us some nice light jazz in the background. This is good tea. Some nice raspberry tea. Alright, so what do I need here? So I've got... There we go. Got myself some cotton swabs here to help with painting small pieces. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to repaint from the blue. We're going to repaint it into like a light gray. Standing seam metal. Turn up my mic. Okay, I'll... Oh, the music. Turn up the music a little more. Sure. How's that? It's so hard for me to tell what I'm hearing in my headphones versus what you guys are hearing on stream. Is very difficult for me to tell. because I've got a preamp and everything in my mic, which is very nice for having a nice audio, but I'm always worried things are too loud for y'all, because they're coming in loud and clear for me, and you can barely hear them. So glad to hear that that's just right. All right, so I guess, yeah, let's start with painting the head house here. White paint, because I already got a little bit of black on the palette before the stream started. We'll paint the sales house here a nice light gray, because that's the side of the buildings. The actual building in Poughkeepsie of Stargas, which is roughly what I'm basing this on, is a brick building. It's like a concrete brick. But I don't mind that much, because this is supposed to be a secondary facility that they've got, so it doesn't matter anyway. This is, but I want to keep the colors at least somewhat similar where I can. That way it's plausible that it's the same company. But yeah, Stargas, which is what I've determined is going to be the name of this. And I basically determined that because whenever I build my Poughkeepsie layout, Stargas is going to be a customer on there too, so I might as well start having cars go to Stargas now. But Stargas is a real place in the city of Poughkeepsie, New York, and they still actually are in business. They still sell propane and natural gas to actually the guy I work for gets Stargas delivered every now and again. That's probably good. Alright, so let's go ahead and paint that. Oh, let me get these other pieces out of the way first. Excuse me. Go. I like the blue, but it's just not, I don't know. I want it to be some more similar to the actual building, so I'm going with the gray. And if anything, I would have the front be red, because that's the Stargas color. Hello there. How you doing, Paul? Good stream earlier. Good stuff. That fading on that car came out really good. I might have to look into picking up some of that stuff that you used there. Oh my gosh, I just had it and it's gone now. The product that you were using came out really good. Normally the problem is I don't have like a spray booth or anything. So whenever I'm spraying, I'll usually just open a window and put the model next to the window and spray out the window. Whether that be with my airbrush or a rattle can or anything. Transparent dust. That's exactly what it was. Yes. Thank you. It just left my brain the second I went to grab for it. But it's really good. Normally, I'll just use either white powder or light gray powder. Yeah, exactly. I use all acrylics for the most part. I've used a couple of... The only things that I use non-acrylic are... I have a... what's it called? Oh, shoot. Whoops. Just not only smacked the mic, but also painted my hand. I have a Penn Central green from True Scale Colors, the Tidewater green, which is a really good color, and it's like pretty much exactly what I wanted. But I got that, and that is a acetone-based paint. And then I have my Tamiya panel liners, which are solvent-based. But everything else I do is all acrylic, just because it's the ease of working with it is just it's just so much nicer than having to deal with everything else. So, but yeah, I especially if that stuff's acrylic, I might have to pick some up. I mean, that's pretty much what I had been using at school. I had a old cardboard shoebox that I like taped the lid up and then taped a couple pieces of cardboard to the sides to make like that classic, you know, triangular shape that most booths have. And then I just put it in the windowsill and let the air, let the draft just pull it out. I'd usually crack a window elsewhere in the room whenever I was in a room that had multiple windows. That way I get an air circulation and stuff, and that was all I did. But once I get a more permanent place of residence, I do want to get a proper booth eventually. But for now, what I do is I either use the powders, just the white powder or light gray powder for fading, or I'll use white oil, and I'll just put a very fine layer of white oil over the whole model. And now the nice thing about the oil is it works on colors too. And I know you were talking about you struggle sometimes with fading color. The oil will just basically add a light layer of white over everything, which is, if you can get it thin enough. Hey, how you doing, Bill? If you can get the oil thin enough, what it'll do is it will just basically create the effect of having dust over the existing color, or having like sun bleaching occur. So that's usually what I'll do, just because I don't have to set up the I don't have to set up my janky way of doing stuff. But yeah, so that's that. I showed off that technique in my weathering tutorial. That's the most recent tutorial I've got up on my channel. So if you want to check that out, it's there. But the only thing with it is then you gotta let it cure for, I don't know. I usually leave it at least 30 minutes, but usually, you know, it's better if you leave it for closer to a day, just to let it really cure. That way, otherwise I've never had it happen, but I know it's possible that if you don't let it cure, you can get some crazing if you put acrylics over it, because oil paint cures. It doesn't dry. So if the gases that are released from that process can't get, or are covered up by a layer of acrylic paint, it'll bubble up under the acrylic paint and cause the crazing. So that's a danger. I've never run across it, even when I'm doing quicker jobs and I don't let it sit for as long as I know I should. But I know it's a danger, so I usually warn people that if you can leave it for longer, that's usually better to let it fully cure. But the nice thing about acrylic is that it's about oil, I mean, is that it's super workable. Like, even if you if you let it almost completely cure, like up to almost a day later, and you look at it and you're like, oh, I'm really not happy with it, you just put a little bit of like mineral spirits back on there and it'll reactivate, and then you can move it around some more, rework it, stuff like that. It's a very, very pliable material. Not material, medium. That's the word I was looking for. But yeah. How you doing tonight, Bill? How's things going down in Jersey? Excuse me. Oh, that's good to hear. I'm glad. Yeah, like I said in the Discord, I listened to your guys' podcast over the weekend, and you guys make an entertaining pod, I tell you that. For sure, we'll be adding that to my rotation. Nice. Yeah, painting fascia, it's it can be tedious, but it's absolutely worth it. I painted my, I mean, Paul can tell you too, when he finished painting his fascia and stuff. When you just get it done, the feeling of accomplishment and just the feeling of finish that your layout gets just by doing that is incredible. It was literally to the point where once I painted my I painted my T-track module first. I painted my T-track module with a nice flat black all the way around, and I was so happy with that. I was like, all right, well, now I got to do my layout. So I just sat down, because my layout's just a 1x6. I just sat down and worked my way around it with a big wide flat paintbrush and some black paint, and just got a nice flat black all the way around, and it just feels so much more finished. It feels so much more like official, I guess. I don't know. It feels good to have that layer in there. So all that to say, good stuff. All right, I think I need to let that sit for a little bit. So while that's sitting, nice. Yeah, I'm going for like a little bit of an off-white, I think, because I'm loosely basing this off of. This is basically going to be a branch of the Star Gas company here at Poughkeepsie. Because whenever I get around to building a layout based on Poughkeepsie, it'll be a customer. Will be Star Gas, but the actual Star Gas building in the city of Poughkeepsie is a brick building, but it has a light gray, painted concrete brick on the sides. So I figure if I get like a light gray off-white kind of thing, that'll be good. You know, I figure it at least gets it in the realm of like, oh well, it could be the same company, you know. Nice. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I just went with flat because that's what I had. And it's definitely, I definitely should have gone with some sort of finish other than flat, because it has gotten somewhat dinged. Especially since the sides of my layout are not like fascia board or anything. It's literally just 1x2s that make up the whole structure of my layout, and that's, well, actually I think the sides are 1x4s. The structure underneath is 1x2s. That's what it is. But yeah, so it's it has dinged up a little bit. So, but I don't know. I might just touch it up with the flat black now, especially since I've got my stickers on there and stuff. I've got the sticker from Ray at Around the Layout. I got from my interchange tour with the ATLP 2022 car, which he's been sending around. So I put the sticker on there for that, and then I got my BNCCS sticker on there and stuff. So probably just will touch it up. All right, let's start. I'll put this over here. Let that dry. Nice. Nice stuff. All right, let's start on these tanks, because those don't need to be painted. There we go, tanks. All right, let's take out the X-Acto. Let's make sure I nip the. Yeah, I didn't realize it was a thing either. Stickers, I guess it's like a really big thing. It's become is what I've learned. So I made sure to get myself some stickers. But yeah, it's like It's I mean, now that I know about it, I'm really into it. Like I'm getting all sorts of people's stickers. Because it's what's fun about it is it's a neat way to kind of have a who's who of the people you've met in the hobby, and like the people whose layouts you visited or who you've talked to and stuff like that, which is, I think, is super neat. And then also, like, what I do with it is I put all my stickers on, nice thing about N-Scale, all of my freight rolling stock pretty much right now, at least all the stuff that I bring places to run, it all fits in a toolbox. So what I do is I have decorated the whole outside of that toolbox with all the stickers that I've gotten from people from all over the place. It's kind of far away. I can't grab it right now, but I've got to make sure I get a new set of stickers printed up before Ops Till You Drop in April. Because I'm down to, where did I just put my sticker bag? I just had it before the stream because I was cleaning up my desk. It was right here. Oh, there it is. Yeah, by rail would be pretty cool. Let's see, I'm down to, how many is this? Like 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stickers left here. So I'm gonna have to make sure I get some more printed up by Springfield. Not Springfield. Springfield's already done. That's next year. By Ops Till You Drop in April. But yeah, so because I put all my stickers on my box where I carry around all my rolling stock, it's kind of a walking billboard for all these other modelers too, which I think is really neat. So I'm almost to the point of outgrowing that toolbox, but I'm going to try and adapt it to make it be able to hold more, because basically right now all I've got is everything in its original packaging that it came in. That way, just because it's just all I've needed. But I'm getting to the point where I'm building these like 30, 40 car freight trains, and I have to take out so many boxes that it's getting annoying, and it's getting to the point where the boxes are taking up too much space in the toolbox, where I can't really fit much else in there. So I think I'm gonna try and cut some foam to make some cradles in there just for the rolling stock without the boxes, and that should allow me to fit another, I don't know, 10, 15 pieces of rolling stock in there, and also make things a little easier for when I'm actually taking things out to run. So I gotta get some of that. Yeah, exactly. It's just such a fun way to share all these other people's designs and what they're doing. Alright, so these go, excuse me, these go together like so. Okay. Okay, I was like, I just had the instructions here, I swear. Okay. So yeah, those just go on top, and then the 31, the 32, the 30, 33, and then the 29s. Alright, so let's start with this. Let's do that. Nope, not yet. Just picked this bottle of plastic cement up today, so I gotta trim the nozzle open here. Oh, there it is. Get all this garbage out of the way. Let me get some gloves on before I do the same mistake you made, Paul. My gloves were here. Oh, I put them up here. Okay. Let me grab my gloves. Okay. Yeah, Paul. I gotta make sure I bring you up another sticker since you misplaced mine. Gotta make sure you got one of mine, cause you know, trying to make sure all my good buddies get one, and I definitely count you in that number. Okay. So let's. Come on. There we go. There we go. Right, down this side. Right. Yep, just slightly like citrus, ever so slightly. But that's the stuff. Yeah. Oops, upside down. There we go. Liquid cement for plastic. Right. That might be a later problem then. Oh, I don't want to get the little bits of paper glued to it. But yeah, I'll have to hit it with my sandpaper to smooth it out, and then maybe a little bit of putty to clean it up. Oh wow, this pure white is really just completely blown out in this camera. Yeah, you can't see like anything. You just see a cylinder of light. Wow. Alright, well, it's together. Let's focus on just one at a time here. So now I need the 31, which might not be on this sprue. Nope, it's not on this sprue. Let's check this sprue. 31. There we go. Don't worry about it, Bill. Get your work done, man. Okay, let me just trim this flashing up a little bit. There we go. Made sure to get a nice sharp new blade on here before I started. Okay, so and this goes. Oh, okay. I thought it was sitting in holes. No, it's seats. Seats on those. Interesting. Interesting choice for how that works, but we'll make it work. Especially interesting in that it doesn't actually fully reach that one. You can't see it at all. Oh, you can kind of see it there, but the furthest most support there does not reach. you can kind of see this. Oh, there we go. There's a gap. So I'm not sure how I'm gonna fix that. The only way I could think to fix that would be add styrene, unless it goes this way. It might go that way. Does it go that way? No, it's good. No, yeah, it goes this way. Well, I might just have to make do with it. That kind of stinks. Also gonna clean this flashing out here while I'm looking at it. Some of these Walthers kits are really great, but just not quite. They're not quite what you hope for, you know. Whether it be from slightly older tooling or just slight warping in the process or stuff. No problem, Paul. I get that. Yeah, and sounds good. We can support each other. I'll make sure to send people over to your stream first, and you can pass them back to me at the end. But always good. Always good chatting with you, man. Get some good rest. Talk to you later. Okay. Put a dot on each of these. There we go. Okay. Get them glued. Hold that there. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, don't move. Nope. Ah, shoot. Lost it. There we go. Let me just put a touch here. That it is welded in two places. There we go. Nice sip of my tea, and keep working here. I think this is probably, whoops, this is probably dry enough to go back and do a second coat, so let's do that while I think about it. Might need to mix some more of this gray. Yeah, definitely need to mix more of this. This is not nearly enough. Alright, let's take some more of the white. Put the white. There. And then some, just a drop of black. go. Got it. And now mix that up. With a touch more white. Go. Yeah, it's the color. Perfect. My eyes gotten pretty sharp when it comes to these color mixes. I guess years and years of working with the medium will give that to you. Go. Some nice tunes we got going. Where did these go? Let me get one of these swabs out so I can clean up around these window frames. These little things are so useful, especially when working on scale. Just these tiny little, like, super fine cotton swabs, basically. It's perfect for applying paint, or in this case, moving it. All right, there we go. It's cleaned up. Put that down there. Let that dry. And I think one more light coat will do. So let's go back to this guy. Excuse me. There we go, much better. Like I said at the very beginning, I'm just about over my cold from that I picked up at Springfield. Just got the bare remnants left of it. All of the congestion that had built up in my head over the past week is all just draining out into my throat. So I keep having to clear my throat. But once that's gone, I'll be all better. So doing good. Get this piece. Put this piece on. Once I clean it up, I really should just have a piece of sandpaper here, shouldn't I? I thought I did. I really thought I did. Put it up here. Let's see. Nope. I could have swore I had a piece of sandpaper here, but not sure where it went. It's okay, we'll just carefully clean this up. I've got this small sanding stick. That'll probably do. There we go. That was what I needed. Exactly what I needed. Okay. So this goes in what orientation? Also, let me grab these tweezers to use. You know what we'll do? We'll do this. There we go. Picked it up. Perfect. Okay, and this goes in what orientation now? Thusly. Nope. Yes. Yes, this way. These go in this way. Okay, so let's apply some plastic cement to the underside. Stick that there. There we go. Okay. Okay, and now we need the handrail, which is on the other sprue, I believe. Nope, it is on this sprue. Just the stands are on the other sprue. Okay. Oh, yeah, there we go. Handrail. Let's clean that up. Go, just neatly trim off that flashing. Careful to not slice my finger open. That would be certainly less than ideal. Okay, now this goes thusly. Okay. Let me grab the inverse tweezers. Yes, like that. Okay. Let's get just a dab of plastic cement on the bottom of each and every stanchion. There we go. Stand up. Nope, don't slide. There we go. Now we got it. Okay, so now we got that on there. Some stringies here I gotta clean up. Sand. Oops, don't do that. Sand the face of this. Smooth again. Here we go. Good. Alright, let's get the feet on this tank. Feet on here, and then we'll get the last coat of paint on the sales building. And then we will finish up this tank and move on to a couple of the outbuildings, maybe. I'm going to start with just the one tank, because I'm not sure I'm going to be able to fit both. On the layout. I know for sure one will fit along the backside of the layout. I don't know if two will. Another fun project that's a fun part of this project, building and modeling the propane dealer, is going to be the chain link fence that's going to go around the property. Okay, so these, they should go in those holes snugly, I would imagine, but not too snug. Do I need to let me maybe try reaming this out just a little bit. Boy, am I glad I decided to test fit this before fully gluing. It's always a good idea to test fit pieces before permanently joining them. Yeah, these holes need to be reamed out just a little bit. Okay, let's try again now. Oh, there we go. Very nice. Okay, let me just clean up the inside of the piece now. Sorry, lots of messages I've just got all of a sudden. Just checking what was going on, just Discord stuff. No biggie. Go, alright. Let's clean this up. Make sure it's nice and smooth. Perfect. Nice, clean fit. So now let's just put out on the inside. A line of that right there. And right there. There we go. Alright, and now one more. Let that set up while I prep this one. There we go. Get that nice and smooth. A little bit more, that's okay. We'll just clean that right up. Right there. Okay. Let's clean these up. Excuse me. Yeah, it looks like just a little bit of excess plastic in these holes from when the injection was happening. But that's the cleanup that you get when you got to do when you're doing a injection molded kit like this. That's just reality. Sure, there's a better tool out there than an X-Acto for it, but an X-Acto is what I've got on hand, so an X-Acto is what I'm gonna use. So yeah, we're gonna get the tank done. We're gonna assemble the sales house tonight, I think, and then we'll see if I get around. No, because it's a brick building and I want to paint the brick, so we'll do the rest some other time. Let's test fit, make sure that we're good to go. Yep, all good, perfect. I'm gonna try this time. There. Right, hold that for a minute, let it set nicely. And there we have it. We have a freestanding little tank, which is very nice. Cool. All right, let's finish up this sales house here. Clean up my brush. Let's do one final coat of this. Sounds good, Eddie. Good to see you tonight. Enjoy your rest. See you around. Probably not going to do too much more tonight. It's already 10:30. I'm going to aim for these streams that I'm doing regularly here, to be between an hour and an hour and a half. So that would mean wrapping up sometime between 10:30 and 11. Made a mess here. There we go. Clean that up. Apply some more paint on top. And just be sure to give it a nice even spread as opposed to letting it clump up like that. There we go. Good. Alright, so now let's start removing these from their sprues. Actually, no, because I need to do the windows first. Right. Okay. So we've got this side, that's piece 2, gets window 6. 6. Oh, before I do that, let me take a quick look and see what the real Stargas has its windows looking like. Same color trim, so we'll just leave the trim white. Then, yeah, we'll just leave the trim as is. Excuse me. Alright, so 6, 6, 6, 6. Is that 6 or is that a 9? I think that's a 9. Oh. Nope, 9 is this one. That's a 6. That's why the instructions with pictures is good. Hey, good stuff, Bill. That feeling that you get when you're done, it's so good. It's such a nice feeling to just look at your nicely finished fascia. Oh, man. Clean up a little bit of this flashing. Hopefully, something relaxing for you to listen to as you work, Bill. I don't know. I think my voice is relaxing enough. Okay. Ah, good. Glad to hear. Where did I put these? Yes, the windows. Okay, I need window piece number 45. 46, 47, 45. There we go. Let me test to make sure this shouldn't fog. But we're gonna test to make sure. No, that's good enough. All right, good. So then in that case, still be very, very, actually what I think I'm gonna do, take this, coat the end of my Q-tip thing here in, and then I can use that as a very fine applicator. So I can just get the very edges of this piece of plastic to put the glass on. Okay, and now let's get this piece of glass right on. Oops. There we go. Only minor fogging and general discoloration. Pretty good. And that one, oh, this is the door. That makes a lot more sense than this being just a really tall window. That actually checks out. Okay. Got it. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. I was sitting here like, that's a tall window. But it's because a lot of these Walthers kits that I've assembled, especially of late, have been HO scale kits for back when I was in school with the club. And this is like the exact size of an HO scale double hung window. That's actually really funny. That is really, really funny. All right, let me cut the front here out of the sprue. Yeah, it's a fun process. It can be a little frustrating for sure, especially when you get to clean up a lot of flashing, or if things don't fit quite right. But in those opportunities, in those cases, it's just an opportunity to do a little actual, real modeling work. Try out some techniques to fix things up. But it's definitely fun to build buildings, and I enjoy it. I think it really starts to bring your layout to life, especially if you light the buildings and stuff, which actually I gotta make sure I do on this. I think I gotta see how this all goes together at the end, if I'm gonna do it as one lighting, like a single light for the whole interior, or if I'm gonna do two lights and separate the room. it'll probably just be one light. And I tend to use the Woodland Scenics just plug system, just because my parents got me started with that for Christmas a number of years back, and it's easy to use. It's a little more expensive than just getting LEDs and hooking you up to batteries and switches, but it's certainly very easy. So it's got its pros. But yeah, once you start getting into kits, I'd definitely recommend getting some nice sandpaper. Some of these sanding sticks, if you can find them. I picked these up at my local hobby store. Actually, I think I picked them up at the local craft store, not even the hobby store. It's basically just sandpaper on a foam stick, but it's very convenient and good to use. And then yeah, you'll be on your way. The biggest thing I think my layout right now is missing is people. I've got a good number of buildings on there, and I'm filling the layout out even more with this. The system that is the Woodland Scenics Just Plug system. It's basically a system of lighting where you plug wires into hubs using connectors, and then on the hubs there are dials to decrease the voltage going to the LED, and then that allows you to decrease the brightness. But they sell basically just LEDs attached to 3M adhesive with the wire coming out that you could stick on the roof of your building to light your building. Or they also sell pre-lit buildings, and they also sell pre-lit vehicles. They've got some cars, police car with headlights, taillights, and flasher up top. They've got classic like 40s era cars with headlights, taillights, stuff like that. So it's definitely a nice system. It's just the cost of it is a little high, I would say. If I were just starting from nothing, I don't know if I would go with it, just because it is a little expensive, but it's also not too difficult to make your own, as long as you have the right connector and you get LEDs that work at the right voltage. It's pretty easy to make your own that can hook into the system, I'd imagine. But yeah, like I said, my parents picked me up a couple hubs and a handful of lights so I could start lighting my buildings. And I've got those all, not all of them. I've got a number of them on the layout, and I've got the hub screwed onto the side of my layout. Alright, let me get this door on, and then let's work on this window. But yeah, like I said, it's a very neat system, and it's very user friendly. It's just a little bit expensive. But I really like using it, so I'm going to keep using it. Let's slide that right onto there. We have a door. Oh, Bill, that looks wonderful. I just saw the pictures you put up. Oh, that looks awesome. That looks so nice. Well done. Well done. All right, let's get this other window. I think I might get to the point where I've got all the windows in and then call it a night here. And then we'll pick it back up next week or in another week. What do I need? Number 7 and 46. 7 would be on this. Yeah, of course. There's a number 7. I always love to see people progressing in their layouts. It's so fun. Oh. I gotta... Yeah, that procrastination, it gets you. But, you know, why do tomorrow what you can do the next day? Yeah, I am a major procrastinator myself, so don't. You are in the company of friends. And then I need 46, which is this side. Each of these 4 I'm not on camera, am I? Nope. Sure am not. Let me get on camera. There we go. Doing all this work and you can't even see it. That's fair, yeah. If you don't like working with paint, that's a lot of paint that you're working with, so. I get that. I've been putting off doing ballasting on the chunk of my layout that isn't ballasted yet. I really like the way that the ballast chunk of my layout looks, but it's so tedious and I hate working on it that I've just kind of said, yeah, I'll do other stuff until I run into other stuff to do. I also need to re-weather segment of track because I relayed some track. That's something I put off a long time as well. Is a lot of my track was well, that's good. A lot of my track was laid. Oh, good lord! I mean, this layout was built. How many years ago would have that been? 6, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, something like that. And this was the first track work I'd ever laid. And I had the bright idea of going with Atlas Code 55, which looks great, except for it's just so finicky. So yeah. It if it's light gray, then yeah, that might cause. So, but I finally got around to relaying some track back in December. And now I've got to re-weather that stretch. Some of the track I was able to just leave in place and just fix it, but there's the whole spur, basically the whole piece of track where the propane industry is. I put that whole piece of track in as a fresh piece of flex track. I tore out a 2-track siding because it was just too many tracks. I couldn't fit what I was ostensibly modeling there. Yeah, Unitrack is very nice. It's the only thing with Unitrack is I just it's limiting, and for something like my switching layout, I wanted to be able to kind of squeeze some things in that I wouldn't have been able to with Unitrack. So I went with FlexTrack, and I think for my it's definitely more flexible and it's better. But how you doing, Sparky? Thanks for stopping in, man. It's always good to see ya. We've got the front of this building done. I did some paint on the rest of this the main sales building. We've completed one of the tanks here. We're building the Walthers kit. My pleasure, Sparky. I'm glad you stopped in. I'm glad I was able to show you at least some of the show, because I know it's rough to be unable to join your friends and the people that you enjoy spending time with. So I'm glad I could bring you in there at least for a little bit and show you what I could and let you say hi to some people. I'm glad. I'm very glad. It was fun. It was fun for me as well. It's a different kind of way of seeing the show, so it was fun. I think I'll do that again in the future. So I just don't know. I have to. I have to budget my time a little better in the future. I gotta really plan things out a little nicer. Because it got a little bit crazy timing wise, wrapping up my stream in one building and then having to run over to the NMRA booth and then running over and running trains on the T-track layout and stuff. I gotta plan that out a little better in the future, but it was absolutely worthwhile doing, and it was a lot of fun for me as well. So I'm glad that you enjoyed, and I'm glad that I let you see some of the show as close to in person as you could get. Oh, absolutely. I'm so glad that I'm finally able to start going the whole weekend, because in previous years when I went, I would go just for the weekend, usually just for the Saturday, just because I was still in school. So I would go with some guys from the club at school, and I had homework to do when I got back, so I couldn't stay the whole weekend. But now that I'm out of school and I don't have to worry about that, it's so much easier to appreciate the show when you're there all weekend. Oh man, walking around and saying hi to people Friday night while setting up, and then and helping to set up the T-track layout and everything, and then having all day Saturday and all day Sunday and not having to worry about, oh well, I gotta get home and stuff. It's so much better. Definitely the way to do it. So all right, just trying to clean off the paint from this plastic, that way I can get the glue to attach. Yeah, it's always great to see you at the booth with Bernard. I gotta make sure I gotta be sure to pick up some stuff from Bernard, because I was just thinking, I was actually just saying before you got on a little bit ago, that the last thing that the parts of my layout that are quote unquote finished need in order to bring them to life are some people. So I gotta pick some stuff up from him. But yeah, I imagine it's really neat to be on that side of things. I imagine it's a little limiting. You don't get to, oh, I will, but you don't get to get around to see everyone. But yeah. Have a good night, Bill. It's great to have you in here. Thanks for hanging out and chatting. Rest well, and I'll see you around. Yep. I'll definitely. I think I might pick up a mini Sparky. I think I might pick up a mini Ray Arnott. And I gotta see who else I want. And then I want some generic people and just some generic. I want to pick up some of his general like items, some of his like tire piles and trash stuff. I gotta put together an order. But I want some of you. I want some of you guys from out there on my layout because that's super fun to have. Yep, mini Heath. Right, I gotta get Heath on there. Have a little cabal of rail fans. Watching the local do its work. That is so great. Dude, Bernard is so funny. And like the people that he works with and like when he works with people to skin them and they just have these ridiculous ideas and he's just like, yeah, let's do it. Oh, so good. I don't think this layout is big enough for it, but I definitely want a Bigfoot when I get to my next layout and I have a little more space. Welcome in, Mother Slug. I'm not custom building anything. I'm working on the Walthers kit. Where did I put the box? There it is. This is the Walthers Central Gas and Supply kit. And I painted it. Excuse me. Did some paint work on it because it was this bright blue, which is not a bad color, but I prefer it to be this off-white. So I painted that. I assembled one of the tanks here. Now I'm putting in some of the windows here, and then I think I might call it there for the night once the windows and the doors are all in on the main structure here. But this is eventually going to go on my layout. It's going to be a slight kit bash, I think. I might add a couple things in that aren't part of the kit. I might take a couple things that are in the kit out just to fit, because it's really going to be right on the edge of the layout kind of thing. But and yeah, I know Bigfoot definitely fits everywhere, but I just don't think there's enough space to really. I just don't want it to feel too crowded, you know, on my layout. I want it to feel a little more spread out and real. So Bigfoot would definitely be a next layout thing though. And if I ever make it might be a T-track module thing as well if I ever make a forest module. But Bigfoot will definitely, I will definitely be getting at least one Bigfoot from Bernard. Alright, this piece is, I need 47, which is on the other sprue set. Oh, don't do that. I'll come back. Here we go. There's the windows. So I need... Oh, 47 is the glass piece. I need... What's the number for... Number 8. Sprue 8. There we go. There we go. Yeah, good to see you, Sparky. Thanks for hopping in. Have a great rest of your night. Always good to have you in the chat. Yeah, exactly. I have utility poles on my well, I have a couple. I had more. I did get the press. I did not get the press pass. I had a couple passes actually though, because I was volunteering with the NMRA at the booth, and I was part of the Northeast T-track layout. So, and Dave Durr at the or not Dave Durr, or whoever was the guy in charge at the Animarade booth, didn't realize I already had a pass from the from the T-Trek guys. So I have a pass that has my name that says Northeast T-Trek, and I have a pass that says my name that says National Model Railroad Association, and I took full advantage of that, swapping them out and everything. So, but yeah, Mother Slug. To your point of power lines, I have utility poles. Ooh, I might have to, Sparky. That'd be pretty neat. But I have utility poles, and I put some on my layout. I have a couple of them up. I had more, but I keep freaking smacking them with my my fingers whenever I was doing switching. But on my first layout, if you go way back on my channel, which I don't recommend, the old videos are terrible. Good night, Sparky. Thanks for hopping in. But if you do make that judgment error and go way back, you'll see my old layout, which was on a hollow core door. It was just Bachman Easy Track basically, but I put up the utility poles, and what I did for the line is I took fishing line and I glued it to all of the fishing line to all of the utility poles, and then painted the fishing line black, and then that came out pretty good. And that's what I want to do on this layout as well, but the only thing I worry about is with doing switching on the layout, I worry sometimes about people getting their fingers in and ripping out the poles and stuff, but it might be worth it because it did look really good. It probably was too thick, but it looked really good. Thread might actually not be a bad idea at all. Because you can get thread real fine and not have to worry about it. But I do want to put power lines on this layout. It's just a matter of figuring out where to run them. It's exactly what you were saying though. No one puts them on the layout, and you don't notice they're not there until they are there, and then you go, oh crap. That looks really good. Go one of these. Piano wire. I just worry piano wire might be a little too heavy, like a little too thick and heavy to look right. Although jewelry wire might work. Some like 28 gauge, 30 gauge jewelry wire might do. Or very, very fine electrical wire with black insulation. I keep forgetting that I'm not, when I pull myself way back here, I'm not in frame anymore. There we go. Good. Good. Yeah, I imagine that's usually what the case is people just don't include it just because it causes problems. And I mean that was my big worry as well. But I think if I can figure out a way to route it in the right locations, like along the edge of the layout. Especially since a big part of my layout a big part of the reason I built my layout, it's like half for operations, doing switching jobs, and half for photography, and taking really nice pictures of my models. I really want to get it in there just because it's worth it. So I gotta figure something out. But yes, it usually, I imagine, gets overlooked because, especially if you're in an operating layout and it's on the front half of the layout, it gets in the way of getting your fingers into uncouple and re-rail and so on and so forth. Number 10. Let's see. Number 10. Oh, we've got steel doors. Do I want to paint the door silver? I really do. I definitely want to paint the garage door. My layout is 1 foot by 6 foot. It's a small switching layout. It's built out of basically what it is it's 1 by 4 frame with 1 by 2 studs, basically. I don't know, or stringers, 1 by 2 stringers, with 1/2-inch insulation foam sitting on top of the 1 by 2s inside the frame, and those foam panels are flush with the top of the 1 by 4s. And then all the scenery goes into / onto the foam. I painted the foam with just like a green, like a olive green spray paint to give it a base color. And then I've been improving it since. It's really funny because I built that layout as a school project in high school, and I've been working to upgrade it and make it run well and getting it up to snuff. And then I have a 1 foot by 2 foot foam panel that is basically, it was built as a diorama, but it is able to hook on to the end of the layout and act as an extension, basically. And I've only ever run it once or twice with that on there, but it's nice because it adds another 2 feet of main line, and it adds 1 more siding, which is nice for ops. Always nice to get 1 more siding in. Especially, well, it's nice to get 1 more siding in when it's not squeezed. Funnily enough, it was actually it was for my English class, and it was for a passion project. Basically, the prompt was to teach your class about something that you're passionate about. And I said, you know what? I'm going to build a switching layout and teach my class how to run a switch job. At the age of like 16 or something like that, I was like, this is what I'm gonna do for my English project. And I did it. I brought my layout into school. I taught my class how to do a switching job. It didn't run great, but there were other students who switched a couple cars, so you know, it was successful. And it got a good grade, so. And then I wound up with a layout, so you know, that's a win-win-win. Yeah, that was fun. That was a good time. Is there anything else while I've got my metal paint out? Do I want is this? What is this called? The control house? The distribution house. Do I want the distribution house to be? Yeah, I'll make the distribution house unpainted corrugated as well. Oops, sorry. Well, is there another window? No. Alright, so let me get the other windows in the other wall done. And then we'll get all of these assembled. I have not heard that, but I guess I could see that. Yeah, that's really funny. I could definitely see how you could say that. Thank you, I guess, yeah, thank you. He's famous, that's a good thing, I suppose. I'm doing like Transformers and like what's Holes. Even Stevens, there you go. Where? Okay, where? There it is. Yeah, that's one I've never gotten before, but I definitely see it. That's funny. Alright. Windows. These get... This one gets... 7, an 8, and a 9. Okay. Oh man. Too funny. Yep, no problem. Alright, 7. 7, 7, 7, 7. Clean up the sprue. Flashing. There we go. Good, good. Make sure it's all nice and neat. There we go. There's where I put the, oh, let me cut this out first. Yep. Okay, got that right. There I am. Okay, good. There. Good. Pardon? Okay. There we go. Oh, shoot. I glued the wrong, oops. Well, it worked, so I guess that's good enough. I'll just put a little bit more. Just to be safe. Good. Okay, now I need the 8. There we go. And now that's cut out, I'm going to paint the metal parts one more time. Get another coat on with the silver. You really got to just do it in like thin light coats, just like 2 or 3 thin coats will get you what you need, at least with this particular acrylic silver. It already looks pretty good. It's just, you know, every now and again you get a little bit of white shining through. Really, I haven't picked up the Lionel calendar. I mean, not a huge O scale guy, and I know that there's been all sorts of controversy or whatever around the 25 calendar, but that's funny. I did not know that, but that's pretty good. I glanced at the catalog when I went through their booth at Springfield, but just briefly. This is very chill music. I'm very much enjoying these tunes. Love me some good jazz. Here we go. Now we can let those dry. Wipe off my brush so it doesn't get too gross. All right. Yes, that's right. This is what I was working on. Had an ADHD moment there for a sec. There we go. Let's clean this glass up. Let's put a couple dots of glue, or cement rather. There, just on the outside edges. And stick that to that. Let's just add little dabs of glue. There we go. Yep. We all have those moments. Alright, last window is right there. Number 9. Oops. And then we'll put the doors in, and then we'll call it a night on the stream, because it's now nearly half an hour over what I was intending to do. But once I get into something, my brain won't let me stop until I've reached a solid stopping point. So onward we must press. Let me clean this up. Go. Good. Good. And good. There we have it. Okay, all the windows are in. Alright, do these doors. Pardon me. All right. Number 10. And number 7. Sprues back over there. Neaten this up. There we go. There we go. There we go. Yeah, well, it's a propane dealer, so this is, I mean, this shed is basically just the sales house, and then, you know, the trucks go out to fill up from the tanks and go to the houses and sell the propane, you know, deliver the propane and stuff. And I've actually got, where is it? There it is. Pick this up. Where did the case for it go? Box from it. I'm not sure where I put the packaging it came in. Hey, Ed. But I have here a die-cast tank truck to assemble eventually on stream sometime, or maybe off stream. Who knows? Never done a die-cast model before, so it may be it may not be a good thing for on stream. It may be a struggle if I try and do it on stream. Oh, there it is. So that's this guy, Euclid tank truck. I figure that's a good prototype for the 70s, 80s. After doing some research, it came out in the late 60s, so definitely around in my time. So I gotta paint that, but I'll have to figure out how to build die-cast models first. So, and then that'll be sitting over at the industry every now and again. All right, let's put these doors in, and then unfortunately, Ed, you got here just in time for me to be wrapping up for the night, because you just got back from second shift, but I gotta get up for the office in the morning, so I gotta get to bed before too long here. But we've been building this. I've been building this Walthers kit, Ed. The central tank, central. What is the name of this kit? Central gas and supply kit. And this is going to become the propane. This is going to become the Star Gas propane dealer on my layout that gets tank cars. So, painted the walls from the blue. I painted them this nice off-white, light gray, because I figure a little more understated. It's kind of nice. I think the blue looked just a little bit ostentatious, you know, a little bit much. I mean, that's basically what this is gonna be. This is gonna be just something to sit by the propane dealer. But I might pick up another, just like a car, just to do some testing. But yeah, if this doesn't come out amazing, I'm not gonna be devastated. It was like $15. So it's not the end of the world if it doesn't come out good, but it would be nice to have a nice tank truck for the layout, because it's hard to find vehicles for the 70s. There's plenty of stuff for the 40s, 50s. There's plenty of stuff for the 90s, 2000s. There's not a ton for the 70s, 80s, which is when I model, so it's a little bit of a struggle. There we go. Yes. Success. Alright. So now we have 1, 2, 3, and side number. Excuse me. Excuse me. Side number 4 is right there. Good evening, Eugene. Doing well. Unfortunately, you got here right as I'm getting ready to wrap up the stream, but thanks for tuning in. I was working on this Walthers kit. This is the central gas supply. So we put together this this tank. That was the first thing we did. Bicentennial equipment is definitely on the list of stuff I want to do. I want to paint a BNCCS Bicentennial Jeep. I've got a paint scheme all designed and everything, and I've started painting it, but I didn't have really good masking tape. But now I have good masking tape, so I got to circle back to that. That's one of the many projects that's just kind of sitting in the background for now. But yes, bicentennial equipment, absolutely. I model 75 to 85, so 76 is right in there. And I've really, a long-term goal is going to be building out an AFT with probably the Broadway Limited T1, you know, the Locomotive 1 paint scheme, and then the AFT scheme, and then some of the Lowell Smith AFT cars, and then probably some scratch built AFT cars as well, or kit bashed AFT cars. But an AFT is something that's on the long-term goal list, and then on the short-term goal list is a BNCCS Bicentennial, and maybe a couple more, maybe one of the EL Bicentennial units, the SD45s, just for fun. But yeah. So, anyways, to kind of wrap up what we did for the night, because I'm wrapping up. Thanks, Mother Slug. Have a good night. To kind of recap what we worked on tonight. Got this tank built. This came out good. The only things left to do on it are to add the ladder on the side to access this, and then the pipes coming up to connect to the other pipes and the rest of the system. And then painted and installed the windows on the whole exterior of the sales house for absolutely it does. Painted up the sales house in this nice off-white kind of light gray and got that done. Oh, that's awesome, Ed. Oh man, I hope that something comes in at America 250, because right now it's looking like there's not going to be much. But that's so awesome, and I'm incredibly jealous of you now. But yeah, so we got all this done for the night, and then had some good conversations with you all. So with this, I can kind of start to work out placements of things on the layout, and prep for final construction of this. What I think I'll do probably off stream is I'm gonna coat the back of all of this in some electrical tape. That way I can figure out lighting for the inside, because I do want to put a light in here. And then I'm gonna have a couple, 2 or 3 light posts outside to light the yard. And then yeah, I've gotta do some work on this. I gotta take some sandpaper to the seam. There's the seam. Take some sandpaper to that. Take some putty to that. Really smooth that out. Fill it in. And then yeah, I'll probably keep working on this next week. I'll do some progress off stream and post some pictures as community posts. But yeah, sorry you kind of jumped in right at the end here, Ed and Eugene, but thanks for tuning in. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. It's always a pleasure chatting with you all on the stream here. So I hope you enjoyed the work. I hope you enjoyed the conversations. And I will, I'll see you all next week. Have a good night, everyone, and I'll see you around. Stay on the tracks.